Alrighty, class. We're going to go ahead and get started with this week's lesson. I hope everyone enjoyed last week's lesson and had a great week after that. I'm going to go ahead and get into this week, lesson number 2. What we're going to need today, we're going to need a ball. This could be a soccer ball, a playground ball, a football, anything like that. You're going to need something that's going to be able to mark your area. This could be a cone, a shoe, a water bottle, a red Solo cup, or any other different kind of cup that you have. Just really something to show you where you're at and where you're kicking to. And lastly, we're going to need a safe open area where you can kick your ball. All right, just an overview of today's class. We've already done the greeting. We are going to get into an instant activity / warm-up, which is going to be next. We're going to get into what we're learning today. We're going to get into our focus activity after that. And then at the end of our lesson, we're going to have a review and closure of what we learned today. All right, so for our instant activity or warm up, we're going to have the coin flip heads or tails exercise. So the equipment that we're going to need is going to be any type of coin that has 2 sides. I have a quarter, here's the heads, here's the tails. You can use a nickel, a dime, a penny, anything like that. Total amount of time we're going to need is 6 minutes. You're going to perform 2 different sets of exercises. For the first 3 minutes, you're going to have set 1 exercises, and then for the second 3 minutes of our instant activity, we're going to have set 2 exercises. For each exercise, we're going to perform 10 reps. And then once we complete those 10 reps, we're going to flip our coins again and move on. So, like I said, set 1, we have exercise 1. For the first 3 minutes, exercise 1 is going to be squat jumps. This is when the coin is going to land on heads. We're going to perform a squat jump. So I'm going to give you guys a demo of a squat jump right now. Here we go. We're going to squat down. We're going to jump up. We're going to squat down. We're going to jump up. And then exercise 2 in set 1. This is going to be when the coin lands on tails. We're going to have high knees. I'm going to demo for you guys again. We're going to have high knees. Make sure we're getting those knees up. All right. And set 2, which is going to be our last 3 minutes of our instant activity. We're going to have exercise 1. When the coin lands on heads, we're going to have burpees. I'll give you guys a burpee demo right here. We're going to get down like this. We're going to bring our hands back up. We're going to jump up. And then exercise number 2, when the coin lands on tails for set 2, the last 3 minutes, we're going to have star jumps or jumping jacks. I'll give you guys a demo right here. There we go. So I'm going to get in to our next slide, which is going to be set 1, which is going to be those first 3 minutes. So again, we're going to have exercise 1. The coin's going to land on heads. We have squat jumps. Exercise 2, coin will land on tails, and we have high knees. So I'm going to mute my screen and stop my video, and I'm going to let you guys get into that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and finish up our last exercise for set 1, and we're going to move on to set 2 now. Set 2, remember, exercise 1, when the coin lands on heads, is going to be burpees, and exercise 2 is going to be when the coin lands on tails, and we're going to have star jumps. On the next slide, there's going to be another timer. It's going to have your exercises on the slide as well, just like this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut my screen off and mute myself again while you guys get into the next exercise. All righty, let's go ahead and finish up that last exercise, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. Hope everyone's feeling good. Hope everyone got their heart rate up a little bit there, working on some cardiovascular endurance as well as some muscular endurance. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Next, we're just going to be getting into what we're going to be learning today. Today, we're going to be working on progressions for punting a ball to reach our end result, which is going to be successfully punting a ball to our partner or our targeted area. This lesson will be performed in self-space with the use of a possible partner if you can have one. If not, we're going to be punting towards an area or a target, which could be, like we said in the beginning of the lesson, this could be a cone, a cup, a shoe, anything like that you can punt at. And just right here, we have the standards that we're going to be using today. Go ahead and move on. Before we get into our focus activity, which is going to be punting, we're going to talk about a health activity for the day. Our health activity for the day last week was taking our heart rate. And today, our health activity is going to be how to correctly wash your hands. So right here, I have 4 steps to correctly washing your hands. And then after this, I have demonstrations in 4 different slides of what we're going to do And if you guys want to follow along with me after that, that'd be great. So first, we're going to wet our hands with clean, warm water in the sink, and then we're going to turn the sink off. We're going to soap our hands up, and we're going to rub them together, hitting all spots of the hands for at least 20 seconds. After this, we're going to turn the clean, warm water back on, and we're going to rinse off our hands thoroughly. And finally, we're going to use a clean towel or air dryer to dry our hands off. So here we go. Health activity, correctly washing your hands. Step 1, again, wet your hands with clean, warm water, and then turn the sink off like you guys are seeing here. Let's just see it one more time. Okay. After this, we're going to move on to correctly washing your hands. Step 2, put soap on your hands and rub them together, hitting all spots of the hands for at least 20 seconds, as you can see me doing here. This isn't 20 seconds, but we're going to want to make sure we get that 20 seconds in, doing exactly what I'm doing here. We're going to hit all spots of those hands. We're going to get under their fingernails. We're going to hit everywhere. Let you guys see it one more time after this, and then we'll move on to step number 3. All righty, here we go. Step number 3, correctly washing your hands. Step number 3, turn the clean, warm water back on and rinse off that soap thoroughly. You can see in the beginning, I got the soap on my hands, turning on that warm water and washing my hands thoroughly, getting all that soap off, making sure that we clean those hands really good, especially during these times that we're in right now. One more time, and we'll move on to number 4. Here we go. Finally, correctly washing your hands. Step number 4. Using a clean towel, like you see I have here, we're going to dry our hands, or if you're in a public restroom and there's an air dryer, that's even better. Let's see it one more time. Then we're going to go ahead and move on. Here we go. Now we're getting into our focus activity for the day. We're going to have punting. So the cues for punting a ball at the waist level, we're going to release and drop the ball from our waist level. We're going to make contact with the ball on our shoelaces. Next, we're going to step towards the target with our non-kicking foot, and we're going to follow through to our target with that kicking leg to get the best power, distance, and accuracy out of our punt. Here we go, into progression activity number 1. We're going to practice the cues of punting a ball without the ball in our hand just to start. Students are going to go through the cues of punting without a ball. You can see your other teacher, Ms. Spicer, here performing the punt without a ball in her hand. I'm going to read off the cues for you guys one more time, and then we're going to go to the next slide. There's going to be a timer, and we're going to do our progression activity number 1. So ball at waist level, release and drop the ball, make contact on the shoelaces. We're going to step towards target with the non-kicking foot, and we're going to follow through with our kicking leg. So I'm going to move on to your guys' part here. On the next slide, the timer is going to hop on. I'm going to turn my screen off. I'm going to mute my video, and you guys are going to do your activity. All righty, we got about 30 more seconds, so get as many kicks in as you can in that period of time, and then we're going to move on to practice activity number 2. All right, awesome, guys. I'm sure everyone did a great job. We're going to get ready to move on to practice activity number 2. So activity number 2, we're going to practice the cues of punting a ball with an object in our hand, but we're not going to be kicking it too hard. You can see here, students will use the ball, but you'll not be releasing the ball out of your hands. You're going to make contact with the ball on the shoelaces, but do not release. So we're going to move into progression activity number 2. As you can see here with your other teacher, Ms. Spicer, she's performing what you guys are going to be doing in the next activity. This video will be up on the next slide as well. And we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. We're going to have a timer again. And I'm going to go ahead and mute my video, my audio, and stop my screen so you guys can get give you guys about 30 more seconds here to get a couple more practices in, and then we're going to move on to our practice activity number 3. All right, go ahead and finish up that last kick, and we're going to go ahead and move on. Hope everyone's getting the hang of it. So we're about to get into the real deal here. Here we go. The final outcome, what we're looking for you guys to get out of the day. punting a ball to a targeted area. So we're going to be performing the correct cues for the final outcome of successfully punting a ball to their target area. Now remember, those cues are going to be the ball is going to be start at your waist level. We're going to drop the ball. We're going to make contact with the ball on the laces of our shoes. Our opposite foot is going to be stepping towards our target, and our kicking foot is going to be following through to our target. So you can see Miss Spicer here punting from the one cone to the other cone, the targeted area with great form, using all the cues correctly. We're going to go ahead and try and emulate this, which your other teacher, Miss Spicer, is doing right here. We're going to go ahead and get into the activity. So I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to mute my audio, and I'm going to let you guys get going on this. Got about 30 more seconds here. Get a couple more punts in while you can, and I'll let you guys know when to go ahead and stop. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up, everyone. Hopefully everyone got some good punts in, started to get the hang of things by the end of the lesson today. Go ahead and move on to your next slide here. What our next slide is going to be, it's just a review of our lesson. We're going to have someone record a video of you successfully punting a ball to your target area or to a partner. We're going to want to make sure that in that video, you're displaying the proper cues for punting a ball. And then please explain the cues in order for us to see your level of understanding of the lesson today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to flipgrid.com and we're going to enter the code given below to complete your assessment for this lesson today. I hope everyone had a good time. Hope everyone was able to get some good punts in. Make sure we get that Flipgrid video in so we can make sure you guys are getting the correct progress and the correct form and cues of the punt today. So for next class, we're going to be needing one of the following: a ball that can be dribbled. So this is going to be a soccer ball or a playground ball. And objects that we're going to need to be used as place markers again are going to be cones, water bottles, solo cups, any other type of cup that you can think of that's going to help you give a marker or give you an area to be able to dribble through, because next class is going to be dribbling. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and we will see you guys next week for our dribbling lesson.